I'm walking out here. I just want to tell you, my little girls used to come out here and I used to take them. One of them was being sort of pecked by the others, or run all over the place, or feeling down. Come on, Peppi. And I picked them up. I'm gonna get this over here so my girls can eat. I picked them up. Come on, Peppi, come on. With Daddy, come on back here with Daddy. And of course, you knew I'd give them some tomatoes. There's some little tomatoes that are left. I used to grab my handful that was overripe. I'd come out here and I was hoping that they would live. Look at these berries here that are getting big. There's a bunch of them. They're getting big. These are my muscadine grapes. And there's some of my Fuyu Gaki persimmons there in my tree. I planted a lot of spinach though, but these are blueberry bushes. And this year there was not as many blueberries, but I would take my girls and I fed them. I say, Daddy's got some mushberries, I call them. And I call them blueberries sometime, but they understood mushberries pretty well. Just the term, I don't know why. And I gave my little girls all the ripe dewberries I could. Of course, I gave them plenty of mustard. I planted them some more fresh mustard and gave them quite a bit of it before they passed away. And the blueberry bush here. And the last blueberry bush here. But I gave the girls all the blueberries. And maybe in a couple that my wife and I ate, but all the blueberries I gave my little loves. With the exception, like I said, of a few. But all these are my trees. I had quite a few trees. But I'd take my girls. Come on, Peppi. This is a Satsuma. This is a grapefruit tree. If you look, it's got a few grapefruit on it. And I'm hoping they'll do well this year. But that's really not what I came to show y'all. Whoever may be watching this video. Come on, Peppi. I'd grab the girls that were feeling bad and being pecked and just feeling down and out. And back here at this place I'm going now, there was a big old blackberry bush that Mr. Andeb gave to me. And this big old blackberry bush this year had a lot of big, pretty blackberries on it. And I'd bring Chief Shepherd back here, my big old girl. It had a big old bulging backside. And I'd bring her out here and feed her some berries. And Easy Lay, Michelle. I brought my little Gypsy Queen out here. I don't know how many I actually brought out here. Gypsy Princess I may not have brought, I don't know. But I'd come out here and I'd give my girls some berries. And over here, there's some mighty good looking mulberry trees. I planted 2 mulberry trees here and here, and I would pick my babies a bunch of mulberries off from them. And they seemed like they did well. Just like this tree done died on me. This is a nectarine tree. Here's the first one I planted. But what's real important to me is each time my little girls would feel down and out, I'd bring them back here to this big old blackberry bush. And I'd had a lot of blackberries. I'd pull them off and Chief would just gobble them up. And they had just such a wonderful time. I had such a wonderful time with my girls. Come on, Peppi, my love. Had such a wonderful time with my girls. Looked like something got my tomato plant here. Looked like it's been cut down. Like something hit it. Yep, chopped it down. I don't know why they pretended like that they didn't. But it don't matter. Come on, Peppi. Only a tomato plant. Come on, Peppi, love. And I'd come back here. And I just want to show y'all. Like I said, I don't even know if anybody be watching this. There's some more blackberry bushes I was hoping my girls could eat from. I gave them some dewberries. I had dewberries. Those are actually not, some of them are dewberry vines. They had a bunch of dewberries on them. Comparatively, I gave them to my girls. And over here I had a bunch of mustard at one time, and I've had all types of chives, they call it out here. Here's something else someone chopped down with old weed stuff, but it don't matter. I planted these hoping that they'd take off back here, these spinaches. See that spinach plant right there? I was hoping they'd take off, get big for my girls so they could climb all these fences here that I got for the muscadine grapes. But over here, this is my loves. This is another blackberry plant. I had blackberry plants and I had blackberries everywhere, and there's another mulberry tree I got some mulberries off from. You see these blackberries? I'd bring Chief out here, and Easy Lay, Michelle, and my little loves, I'd give them some blackberries. See, I had these right here, and each time they'd get ripe, I'd share them with my girls. I might have eaten one or two, my wife and I. There's some more there. I sure wish I had my girls could eat them with me. There's some more there. Here's some. There's a lot of red ones there that hadn't got ripe yet. And there's one there that's ripe. I guess I better pick it. And I'd give them to my girls, and they were so happy about eating those. I was really hoping that these muscadine grapes here, everywhere they're growing and they're getting bigger. I gave Chief one, my Chief Shepherd, a big girl. She almost barked. She said, I don't know. Her voice was really gruff. And she used to be, we used to call her the Chief. And I started calling her my Chief Shepherd. And that little girl, her and Michelle would first off, Chief would be, I started talking to her and loving her. And she became one of the most kindest, humblest little girls that you could ever imagine. And here's my babies. Here's their little tomb. There's the stick where I locked it in, so I was hoping they wouldn't push the gate open like that, but that day I wished I'd have let them just sort of wander. Daddy's got some mushberries, girls. Daddy, see here, I got a couple of blueberries. One of them's not ripe completely. I don't know if I can keep a hold of it. Come on, Peppi. I gave them some blackberries when they passed away. Yeah, Daddy's girls. Back up, Peppi. I see some blackberries there. I gave them. Some of you folks may think I'm crazy, but people that's ever had a little animal that you love with all your heart, you know that I'm not any crazier than anyone else. These were like my kids. I know they're not exactly like my children, but I wish I could remember where they all were deceased. Because that dog just ran them down. Just ran those babies down, so unmercifully killed them. I had this thing here, it's dirty now, it's been a week almost. And I used to fill this full of water, let them stand out here and they'd drink from it. And this here, you know, it's dirty now, but I used to clean it every day. And I tuck it in. And my little Michelle, I called her, Michelle My Belle, after the song Michelle, the people that sung it. And he was sitting right here at this spot. And he was just sitting there before she did it. And she walked over there and she was standing in the water. I'm talking about Michelle. Her little comb was like little razor tips. That it didn't have much depth to it. It was tall, but it was real thin. And she was standing in there watering her feet, and they got to where when I came close to them, they would bow down and start trembling and let me pick them up like a rooster or something was after them. You know what I'm saying. But she'd squatted there for me, and she squatted in the water. You know, I don't know what it might mean to some people, but it meant something to me. I used to have them, I'd come out here and I'd sit in this chair and talk to them and feed them bread. And little Angel, most humble, gentle little chicken, she'd jump up on the side of the chair, jump up on my leg, and I could feed her. Jump right up on my leg. I got them a nice chicken coop. I paid $800 for this so my loves could have them a good place to live. And we just put this on her, this nice big tarp, and I got a 2-inch PVC pipe and buried these posts in the ground and put it across there for this to go across. But you can see it had nest box, had a big 12-foot run, and had its own nest box, and that's where my little first laying queen laid her first baby, right here in this little side right there. Yeah, she was sitting there so proud of it, and I picked her up. I don't know which one died over here in this corner, but I picked one up here. At least I think I did. I do know that they died in different places. There's another little loquat tree that I planted for my girls. I used to bring my baby some leaves out here. There was a neighbor of mine, a wonderful friend of mine, gave me a bunch of leaves, and he had them all ground up, about 5 or 6, 10 bags, big bags of leaves, and I'd dump them out here. And they would just had so much fun digging in those leaves. It was just so incredible. So incredible. And again, that's where my poor chief shepherd died, right there. He ran her down and tore her back out. And right over there's where I found one of my little angels, or Angelica 1, I can't remember which one it was. Tore one's guts out. I know it sounds gruesome to some of you people, but it just have to sound gruesome. I'm not trying to recover. I'm just trying to tell and make a memory of something that I love. This fence is like 18 by 36 foot long. I made for my babies. I built it, put it together, and strung all that stuff across the top so that they wouldn't die. And I planted a bunch of tomatoes this year with them in mind. Only them in mind. Of course, we've eaten some of the big tomatoes, but I've shared with them. Every single thing that I've ever eaten, as far as I know, I shared with my babies. If any of you people ever had pets, I think you can understand what I'm talking about. I think you can understand. Right here we had them, as you can see, we got, for the first year it seemed like, we had them regular size laying mash, and we were noticing that they didn't act like they liked it. There's some of the grain. Let me turn the light off and see it. If the light come on, here it is. And we got them some sunflower seeds and some cracked corn and little bitty seeds. It wasn't cracked corn, it was a mixture. I don't know, it's called scratch. And there again is the stuff that we finally got. It was a finer food, and they just gobble that up and love that. I don't know, people. If any of you people out there that can see this video and you believe in raising the dead, please pray for me. Please, if you believe God raises the dead, pray for me. Pray for my girls. All 9 of them died at one time almost because of a dog. And we thought they were safe and protected. They did. I got one more thing to show you. Used to take my little girls. Peppy! Peppy love, come on son. Come on boy. I gotta wait for my dog to come in there. My love, come on pretty boy. That's my Peppy love. When we found him, he crawled up in our shed to die. He didn't have anything. I wasn't wanting any pets. I wasn't wanting any pets at that time. And in here, my wife and I worked on my little baby gypsy queen's bumblebee foot. We would put this Benzodine on it. We would put gauze around it and band-aids and tape it up real good for a couple of days. Revisit it. We put Neosporin ointment on it and peroxide. I'd ball it out with peroxide, trying to keep it clean until it got a little better. This right here, we bring her in here and I put some pretty warm water in there. And my little girl would just stand in the water for Daddy. I could go in the other room and she'd still be standing there when I got back. That was my gypsy queen. That's some memories I'll never forget. She was stood right there, and sometime we put her down. One time I had to hold her so tight because the wound was so deep. My wife had to cut into her foot to get that bumblebee foot. That's what they call it. Some type of infection. Had to get it out of her foot. Just cut her so deep that her poor egg-laying sac came out her rear. And I thought we had hurt her, but she laid eggs after that quite a few times. And here, in this room, on this very bed, with this very blanket right here, my little girl laid on my chest right here with a towel underneath her, of course. And she sat there and laid a beautiful, beautiful